With the assassination plan ruined, with Katakuri capturing Brûlé, and then the box that we thought was going to explode in Big Mom's face, and it has been built up for many, many arcs now. All of this, after all of these things, Brook is just sitting there like, Yonkos will be Yonkos, huh? They're powerful. Sipping a cup of tea. This man Brook is just straight up chilling with a cup of tea while all this shit is going wrong. Like, just think about how bad this is, okay? It's not just the fact that the assassination plan failed, okay? The thing is that they're now cut off. They can't escape because, number one, Capone, he can't move his body at all. He is stuck right now. And to make matters worse, Big Mom has woken up, which we have seen what Big Mom is capable of in the flashbacks. Look what she did to a giant. Giants. Plural. So when you think about it like that, like, holy crap, it couldn't get much worse. But then their escape route, which is Brûlé, she was captured, so they can't use a mirror even if Capone had a mirror inside of his body. So with all of these things, it's not looking too good at all. It's not looking good. It looks like it's going to be GG for Soma before all of this is over, because right now, anything that could have been possible to save them was just thrown out the window. The only thing I could think that could happen to save them would be if the box that has the explosives inside of them, when it was launched off the top of the tower, the only thing I could see happening is if it landed near the bottom and then exploded and the entire tower just toppled over. That is the only thing I could see that could happen to save everyone. If it's not for that, then they're completely fucked right now. I mean, yes, we've seen that Germa is pretty strong when they have their actual suits, but it doesn't change the fact that Big Mom is a Yonko. We already know what she has done. We've already seen some glimpses of it. In her childhood, if that was anything, we can automatically assume she is way above how she was as a child. So I'm just like, how are you supposed to even fight back or even run away at this point because of all these things going wrong? Now, one of the big things I want to point out, okay, besides the funny stuff of Brook just chilling with a cup of tea, let's talk about Capone and his situation here. So Capone right now, this man, he has this big fortress, which is Big Father, as we know. Badass name, by the way. But Big Father right now cannot move. It cannot fight back. All of its cannons have been blocked completely thanks to Katakuri, but also you have it to where he can't even move. So even if you wanted to get on the run and start running, he can't even do that because it's locked down completely. So he's basically a sitting duck ready to get completely destroyed, and then he's going to kill over, and once he dies, everybody inside is going to be ejected out, and then they're up for slaughter as well. So it's not looking too good for Capone right now. This man is taking a beating, literally. I mean, this man had all his cannons clogged up, so when he tries to shoot, is automatically inflicting harm on himself. But then to make matters even worse, Big Mom is awake, just beating the shit out of his body. That cannot feel good at all. And I mean, if you look at the way the final panels of this chapter was, when, you know, Capone, his Big Father, fell over, you see Capone, he was on the floor, bleeding and all that. It must have been pretty bad. But then Big Mom just slammed him right in the side of the head. You saw, like, a big chunk of part of, you know, the Big Father's head just fly off, which I'm going to assume that most likely that was his ear. Maybe his ear just got completely destroyed or something. I could see that. I could definitely see Capone just missing an ear now because of what Big Mom just did. Now, that's the thing, though. They might have had a chance, a slight chance, if Big Mom didn't come back to her senses, but now that she's back, I just don't think there's probably going to be any way you could probably get away from her. Now that she is super angry, like, this woman is really angry right now. Like, we saw how she could not forgive the Straw Hats after what happened and all that. She is just at a whole new level of pissed off. So, with her being at that maximum rage right now, her being, you know, awake right now, I'm just really interested to see where Oda is going to take this, because anything can happen. This is also Big Mom, a Yonko, so how will some of them survive this? That's my question. I could definitely see a death happening in this arc. I could definitely see even Capone dying if shit continues to go south like it is. Now, besides all of that, though, there is one thing I do want to point out, okay? One of the big things, or small things actually, is very small, it's very subtle, but I believe it's going to be something very big in the future of One Piece, and it kind of relates to the things that's been going on in this arc, and it might be the potential possibility for the Straw Hats and Capone and all them to be able to get out of this mess. if you look at the scene when Nami gets saved and all that, and then Sanji pops up, and then he saves, you know, Nami, like he grabs her midair, and then he runs off to Big Father, you see a quick little panel. It's very small. You could easily overlook it, not even really realize what's going on there. But as soon as Nami is grabbed, you see a quick panel. Doesn't really show her eyes, but shows like the lower part underneath her eyes, like her nose and mouth. You see Pudding and a face of shock when Sanji grabs Nami. And you don't necessarily know what type of, like, feelings Pudding has, but you can kind of, you know, I guess get a couple of things from this. Number one, maybe she's jealous. She's jealous that, you know, Sanji grabbed Nami and didn't grab her, and maybe she's really upset about that, or she's just starting to fall in love with him, and she's just like, holy crap, he's actually being able to get out of this, or she doesn't want him to die. Regardless, though, there was definitely some feelings going on there with Pudding and how she reacted to Nami and Sanji, so I wonder if that might lead to a possibility of her helping out the entire group by maybe manipulating everybody's memories. Think about it. Pudding has a very strong Devil Fruit ability. This Devil Fruit ability can alter people's memories, so what's to say that Pudding can't start altering people's memories in the middle of all this chaos and then make it to where, you know, everything's okay and they can kind of leave for the time being. Maybe something like that could possibly happen. Pudding is definitely a wild card right now. She could definitely do something, but we don't know. We gotta remember Katakuri for a second. This man, he could see, you know, a couple seconds in the time, which is a very OP ability to have. And so if Pudding starts, you know, messing with people and when he takes notice, it's automatically gonna fuck up Pudding's plan. So Katakuri is a big thing that could throw that off, but Pudding definitely is going to be someone that might be able to help out the Straw Hats and then Capone and all of them if, you know, she wants to, because there was definitely something going on there in that panel in this chapter that many might have easily have overlooked. And so this might imply, even if she doesn't help in this arc, it might imply that Pudding might actually fall in love with Sanji, and maybe that will be the official conclusion to this arc. For instance, Pudding falling in love, and maybe Sanji accepting her feelings or whatever, something like that could possibly happen. I mean, many of us have discussed constantly that there is a possibility that, you know, Pudding will eventually fall in love with Sanji, Sanji will fall in love with her, and then they'll officially get together. I mean, her feelings that were just mainly of disgust or hatred turned into affection and love for Sanji, and that could have been the official pairing to these two characters. But for now, though, let's get off of that. Let's talk about the other big thing of this chapter, and that is the Germa 66 actually going through a transformation sequence. Okay, that was... okay, that was... straight up Power Rangers. Like, that was Power Rangers. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Power Rangers, but I've seen enough to know that was basically Power Rangers. And I feel like Toei Animation is going to have a field day with that sequence when this, you know, gets to the actual anime. When, you know, they finally animate this chapter, I can see Toei just going completely crazy with the transformation, because if there's one thing that Toei Animation knows how to do, it's definitely like transformation sequences and stuff. I mean, think about Sailor Moon and all that, think about, you know, Dragon Ball and all this other type of stuff. When you think about, you know, transformation sequences you've seen from other series that they have animated, I'm just really looking forward to that. I mean, I'm probably not going to make a review or anything on that anime episode when it does come out, but I'm personally looking forward to it just to see how it's done, because knowing Toei, they'll add some form of fluff or filler into the transformation, which I'm actually looking forward to seeing. I really am. So I'm excited to see that when we finally get to this part in the anime, just to see how, like, some of these, you know, characters transform. Anyways, though, besides the Power Rangers vibe I got from the chapter, I do like how they demonstrated how different they are when they actually have these suits. They are pretty impressive. They dealt out some really good damage. They were also able to kind of resist fire and all that. We got to see a couple of, you know, Sanji's siblings just beating the shit out of other, you know, Big Mom's, you know, actual daughters or sons. So it just shows that they're not all talk. They are pretty strong. It just, they need those suits to really perform properly. So in a way, it's not the best thing, because, I mean, Sanji can operate without using those suits. So just think about Sanji had his own suit, how crazy he would be. Just food for thought there. And that is about it when it comes to this chapter. It was a really good chapter of One Piece, and sadly, if you did not know, next week is going to be a break. It said it at the end of the chapter on the final, you know, panel. It says, One Piece will be on break next week, and I'm like, fuck! Like, fuck! Like, okay, look, as I've always said, Oda, take as many breaks as you need. I'm all for that. I'm all for any manga taking breaks, and I'm willing to look over it, because, I mean, hey, everybody needs a break sometimes. Everybody needs rest. Everybody needs to eat properly, sleep properly, so having Oda take breaks, I have no problems with it, but it fucking sucks, because this man, he always takes a break when things are getting so good. Like, this chapter, Big Mom wakes up, beating the shit out of Capone, all that, he's on the floor, his ear most likely got completely knocked off, and that was it, chapter ends. I'm like, why do you do this to me, Oda? Like, why do you do this to me? But besides that, though, I was happy with this chapter, can't wait to see, One Piece back in 2 weeks, yeah, not next week, but the week after. Can't wait to have it back to see what exactly is going to happen. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.